in the heart of Beer City, USA. Two men, one journey, to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. It is the beginning of another week, and that means a mock draft Monday here in the Sportsocracy.
And this one is spicy.
Yes, it is. We've got all your latest in the world of the NFL. Weekend recaps coming your way as well here in the program. We thank you all for tuning in with us here on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. And the Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We're also seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, and that way you can join us in the chat. Plus, you get all those alerts whenever we are live, 3 to 6, here in the Ingles studio. And, so the Final Four, baby, that's...
don't care. Don't even kind of care.
That's
the end of this show,
stuff.
I'm going to do my best to not say obscenities on live air.
And Lamar Jackson. Wow.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so, this escalated quickly as the anchor man.
No, it didn't. It's what happened here. Look, I've been on the phone all day because I started getting a little birdie told me something weird is happening in Vegas, and I can't quite put my finger on what it is, and it's fluctuated all day. So everything I'm getting ready to say may fly right out the window. But as it currently sits, I have seen the Ian Rappaport report that they were actively negotiating last week. I got all of that. But a little birdie told me something, and that is today's opening drive.
The opening drive always brought to you by Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Go to 629 Brevard Road. Check out the showroom, or you can check them out online, andersonnissan.com. Just mention the Sportsocracy when you go in to do your deal for your brand new car or your certified pre-owned vehicle. And they'll give you $250 on top of your trade-in just for mentioning us.
Whether you're after a certified pre-owned like Tanksters over there, or if you want a brand new 2023 Pro 4X Nissan Titan like mine, which is the largest, most comfortable, elegant ride on the road, you can find all of these things at 629 Brevard Road. Just tell them the two formerly fat guys from the Sportsocracy sent you.
Lamar Jackson tweeting out today that he's had enough, basically.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to pay me what I think I'm worth, and so I am demanding a trade from the Baltimore Ravens.
None of that's new. That is not in any way new information. Behind closed doors, a lot of us have known this, that this ain't going so well because they're not even in the ballpark. When I say they're not close, I'm talking about they are an NHL franchise apart. That is how far apart these negotiations are. None of that's new. Here's what's new. Something has happened in the negotiations. What that is depends on who you talk to. And today, Lamar chose violence because he sent out that tweet the second Jim Harbaugh hit the podium at the owners' meetings. That seemed weird to you? That ironic timing? I'm sure he didn't know. I mean, I'm sure there's not a schedule somewhere that tells you exactly what time. Oh, he's done. He's done. Will not play another down for them. Done. It's over. Now the question is, where do we go from here? I have laughed out loud on this show for weeks at the thought that there's not a team in the NFL that would be interested in Lamar Jackson because that is stupid. What was the impediment?
The money.
No, it's not really the money because, we keep talking about he wants fully guaranteed. He tell you that? You ever got him in writing saying that?
No.
Because I've been told that's not true.
Okay.
What he doesn't want is to be insulted. And that's what he feels like is happening. Facts don't care about your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
This is much like when you get into a spat with your spouse. They feel one way, you feel one way. Then what actually happened only kind of matters. And that's where we're at. So now the question that I have been asking all day, and then the betting market started floating around. Indianapolis doesn't make even a lick of sense.
Why?
Because Indianapolis can get a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal, and okay, so let's say Shane Steichen wants a 2.0 version of Jalen Hurts. There's two of them, and he knows I can sit right here and get one of them. That doesn't make any sense. Why would I give up the 4th pick in a draft for a quarterback that I then have to pay $250 million to? Why do you think the New York Jets are gristling so much at giving up the 13th pick for Aaron Rodgers? It's not because for a year he won't be great. I am now inheriting your headache. So what he is actually worth is completely irrelevant. This is much like when you go to find a job. You might think you're worth $30 an hour, but unless you can find somebody to pay that to you, then you're not. And that's the problem with Lamar, is that he has done all of these things to be a headache. And so teams like the Jets and the Colts and the New England Patriots, which I keep hearing that, and it is comically stupid to me, they're all looking at this going, okay, so you not only want me to inherit your headache, I'm not saying anything about the player. Not only do you want me to inherit your headache, I have to give you 2 first-round picks to do it and then pay him $250 million. Do you see how stupid that sounds when I say it out loud? But there's one team that doesn't necessarily have all of those options. And I saw Stephen Tao in the comments say the Baltimore Ravens don't negotiate with terrorists. You're right, but you know who will? The Tennessee Titans. Okay. Sounds insane when I say it, doesn't it?
So Tennessee's going after Lamar.
Sounds completely insane when I say it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
From 1 to 32, where does this roster rank?
20.
The new GM basically, Rand Carthon basically said, anybody on this roster can be had for the correct price, right? It happened over the last few days.
Mm-hmm.
Why has there been no traction on any of their players? We talk about Kevin Byard. We talk about Jeffrey Simmons. Jeffrey Simmons is one of the 5 best defensive tackles in this league, and he's 26 years old. You're telling me that if they were willing to deal him, there wouldn't have been some traction there? Because if you believe that, I have a bridge to sell you. Because there's a team, I'll go Chicago Bears, that still have a lot of money, still have a big hole at that position. You're telling me they couldn't get a pick for Jeffrey Simmons?
Mm-hmm.
Really? They couldn't get a pick for Kevin Byard? Somebody wouldn't take on that? If they wanted to just tear down the roster. I don't believe they do want to tear down the roster. I believe they look at this roster and go, we are still competitive. And they made calls. And they didn't like what they heard back on Jeffrey Simmons. They didn't like what they heard back on Kevin Byard. And they really didn't like what they heard back on Derrick Henry because it was roughly a 5th-round pick. And you're going to pick up some of the salary. So now they're looking around going, how much worse are we actually than the teams in our division? How much better is the Indianapolis Colts roster than theirs right now? Wait, it's not. It's not better. How much better is the Houston Texans roster than their roster right now? It's not. Jacksonville's is a little better. It's young. Now you add Lamar Jackson to Tennessee. Now whose roster is better? I have it on good authority. And before you tell me I'm out of my mind, I'd be remiss if I didn't point out I was the first person in American media to say Deshaun Watson was going to Cleveland. My Georgia Bulldog black and red friend over here can directly attest to what I just said.
Yes, you were.
Lamar Jackson's the next quarterback of the Tennessee Titans. And I'll tell you exactly how it's going to go.
Okay.
It's 2 first-round picks. That's the cost. They're not coming off of that.
Absolutely.
But there's a leverage point here that nobody's talking about. And I'm going to go to the same thing that I just said with the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers. Your implicit thought of what leverage is not how the NFL works. The Baltimore Ravens are leveraged here to a point because they have 3 guns pointing at them, and anything they do yields something bad. All right, if we cave to Lamar Jackson, he now owns the franchise. Because if we give him exactly what he wants, now we have an injury-prone quarterback that we've paid $1 bajillion to, and our roster is eroding around him, and we didn't win with it the way it was. If we allow him to sign an offer sheet somewhere else and match it, now I'm stuck with whatever it is that you concocted in your head. Because somebody will eventually do it. Can't tell you it'll be this week. Can't tell you it'll be next week. Somebody will eventually go, I need a quarterback. I'll give it to Lamar. I've got the salary cap space. Now free agency's over. I don't care if you hang up my space now. It doesn't matter because there's not somebody else out here I'm chasing. Because if I fail on Lamar, I'll go chase Kirk Cousins or Matthew Stafford or one of these other guys, and that deal's going to be here up until September the 1st. There's no rush on this whatsoever. And then there's the possibility of if you let him go. If you just let him go, what do you get back? All right, so with the Tennessee Titans, you'll get back the 11th pick in this draft, which is not a great draft.
Mm-hmm.
And when do they do it? When do we enact this? Is it possible that they do it after the draft and now I'm getting a pick next year and the year after that?
Could.
100% could. 100% could.
That'd be the smart play.
Oh, it would definitely be the smart play. Or do I tell Lamar, let's be done with the offer sheet thing? All right, the exclusive rights. We've now pushed each other to the center of the table. We've proven our point that nobody was going to sign you to that fully guaranteed deal. Now let's be really honest here. Is it possible that they still reunite with each other? Absolutely. Is it also possible that right now they're telling Lamar Jackson, go find the deal. Go find the deal, get us 2 first-round picks, because there is something we can do in this draft that will sustain us for the long haul. Yeah, and I have it on good authority that that's exactly what is getting ready to happen.
So the little birdie, the little government drone told Flostradamus in his tinfoil hat that the Tennessee Titans are the number 1 landing spot for Lamar Jackson.
What is that? What is that phrase that I use all the time? When you hear hoofbeats, it makes a lot more sense to assume horses than zebras.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson did this. There are certain things that I'll use a divorce because, well, I'm kind of an aficionado on that. There are certain things that you don't do in public. You can argue behind closed doors every single day. The day you start embarrassing each other at dinner parties, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been over.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what happened today. Hoofbeat. The Tennessee Titans have the most clueless roster I have ever seen in my life because it's half good and half bad, and it's really thin, and it's old. You're telling me you think they're going to they're going to give up the same amount to get to 3 to get a rookie with that roster that they could give up to get Lamar Jackson? But the money, they have $130 million in cap space next year. What have we learned about the salary cap? The numbers are made up, and they really don't matter.
Yeah.
So I kick everything down the line. Post June 1 cut on Ryan Tannehill. There's no rush. No one's paying that. No one. Yeah, I'll carry an $18 million dead cap charge this year if I cut him before June 1st. Do you know what it turns to after June 1st? $9 million.
Ooh.
So I save $9 million by designating that tag. Then I have 9 figures in cap space next year. I don't care about the money. If I'm the Tennessee Titans, I don't care about the money. I want to be competitive because when this goes bad, it's going to go bad, bad, because you've drafted horribly for 5 years. There's no other landing spot. There's not another spot that makes even vague sense. New England Patriots, you're telling me Bill Belichick is going to go get a guy that by choice chose to not play a playoff game. Okay, we obviously know a very different version of Bill. You obviously know a very different version of Bill than I do. Indianapolis, I don't have to. The most valuable commodity in all of sports right now is a young quarterback on a rookie deal. I'm going to get one of those. There are 4. I picked 4. Is it possible that I get my 4th choice? Absolutely. Absolutely it's possible I get my 4th choice, but what is the real difference? What's the difference between Anthony Richardson and Will Levis? They're both risky as hell. Like, just straight up, they're 2 of the riskiest draft prospects I've ever seen.
I was more thinking the difference between Lamar Jackson and Anthony Richardson.
That's the point. That's the point. What is the difference between Lamar Jackson, Will Levis, and Anthony Richardson? I know what I'm getting with one, but it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
My roster's already expensive. I'm giving up the 11th pick in a bad draft. Baltimore thinks my pick will be in the top 10 with Lamar. I don't. I think I'll win the division with Lamar. Horses, not zebras. Which leads me to the second part of this, which is also why we're doing Mock Draft Monday. What's in it for Baltimore? I have a thought. Tell you what it is after the break.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.